I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to your teaching and I'm like, man, worthy, fit. All this is popping in my head and it's coming to like kind of perfectionist. You got to be perfected. But I know that's not the reason because you teach us, it's all in your heart if you want to do it or not. How would I be able to take that and spin it? And if I have to explain it to somebody else?
Again, it's the desire to be perfect that he's looking for. But that's not what you said, though. The way you said it was, well, I know you say it's not that, it's about what's in your heart. But you have to make sure that what you're saying is the desire to be perfect is the point. Not being perfect, but making the effort to be perfect. He wants to see, and that kind of answers the question when it had to do with, well, how far do you have to go along the way to know that you've arrived? Well, I don't know that we ever really get there, but you have to at least arrive at the point where he believes that you're always going to continue making the effort to be perfect, as opposed to that make the effort for a little while and then lose the thing in your computer. I'm not making a joke to tease her. I'm just saying, but we all do stuff like that. You make the effort for a period of time and then where to go. And so when you explain this to anybody, that's what I would explain. I said, look, it's all about wanting to be perfect, striving to be perfect, putting the effort in to be perfect. It's not about just the end result only. You may get to the point where you've perfected some of these things, and that's great, where you no longer have to work at it. It just works beautifully and you've got it down. Some of you have gotten that with Shabbat. You don't struggle to know when to stop doing things that are not Shabbat worthy, and Shabbat has now started, and then you get through Shabbat and it's all great, and you did the things you need to do. So that may be perfected. You may be perfected in being able to check your labels and make sure you're not eating anything you shouldn't eat. And then it's not an effort anymore. You just go through the actions of doing these things without a whole lot of stress and effort. Well, there's other things that you still struggle with. He wants to see that not just that it is a struggle for you, but how much are you struggling to win, to overcome, to succeed? The effort you're putting in, or are you quitting? So it's all about the effort. Are you putting in the effort? Because you know what? It's kind of like all of us have seen people, it could be that your parents did it to you or you did this with any of your children, where you believe they were basically underachieving. And so you look at them like, if you would just put more effort in, you would get A's. If you would just put a little more effort in, but you just don't put the effort in. And you know that it's not because they're not that smart, it's because they're just not putting the effort in. So we watch people and know whether or not they're putting the effort in. Now, there are people that can do great at something that it no longer takes a lot of effort. I'm talking about when they're not getting the great result, and you know it's because of a lack of effort, not a lack of ability. We should know the difference. And please don't attack your child for something that's a lack of ability, acting like it's a lack of effort. You should make sure that it had to do with effort if it is effort, okay? Because it's not fair to blame them on being lazy and not putting the effort in when that really isn't the problem. However, if it's the problem, you want to say, look, this is for your life. It's not just about this class you're taking. You need to learn to put the effort in. Okay, it's not about getting A's. It's about trying to get an A. I will love you if you get B's and C's, if that's the best you could get, but you got to put the effort in. I mean, I had a mother that if I got 99, she wanted to know where the other point went. I was like, seriously? And she wasn't kidding either. She's a 5th grade teacher. She had that mindset, whatever. But she was just like, 99, what happened? It's 99, Mom.